Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Leica and today we are continuing with Buried. Continue. Oh, a door. It's a small building, sort of like a mixture of a shack and a bunker. It looks to be made of concrete, but moss, weeds and plain old erosion make it look sort of mystical. It looks like something out of a demented version of a medieval fantasy movie. What the hell is this? Dennis asks. Well, how should I know? Yeah, I have no idea. You purchased this land, right, boss? Dennis asks. Didn't you survey it? I certainly did, I say, getting a little defensive, but this wasn't here. Do you think the others maybe went in here? He asked nervously. Why would they do that? I ask. I don't know, but they aren't out here. If they aren't inside, they're probably dead, like Tony. Oh, well, that's optimistic. He looks at the ground as he says this. I want to go inside, not just to find my crew, but also to appease my curiosity. That ringing noise is coming from inside, but something about this place seems incredibly strange. Especially located all by itself out here. It simply does not belong. I wonder, do we knock or just go in? Dennis asks. And I can tell that he is trying to make a joke, but it falls flat. I am starting to think his humour is a defence mechanism for his fear. We both look ahead, take a moment to realise what we are about to do and start forward. We get no more than 3 feet closer when Dennis wobbles. You okay? Or reach out. Well, I'm going to steady him, obviously. That's an easy choice. I reach out quickly, straining my injured knee. I barely make it in time, grabbing him under his arms and keeping him from hitting the ground. I'm okay, he said. Can you help me walk for a little while? Just help me inside, please. I can't deny him this request. I've never seen him this week and it's a little uncomfortable to see. It makes me glad that I decided to bring him with me. I help Dennis into the weird little building. The front door opens easily, even though there's clearly a lock on it. Maybe the lock was supposed to keep someone in. It's hard to tell. I still hear that ringing noise. It's definitely coming from in here. Stretching out in front of me is a small interior to match the outside. The building is totally empty. There's a concrete floor and dingy featureless walls. There are no windows, giving the place an even more isolated feel. We hear the ringing noise coming from somewhere in here. It's louder now, more prominent. The interior seems confined at first, but a small set of concrete steps leads about 5 feet down, revealing a corridor. Ooh. Continue. This is getting good. This is a cool story. It's a massive corridor. In fact, like I'm in some kind of building underground. It seems to go on forever. This corridor is mostly dark with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. I assume we're now underground because this corridor extends far beyond the walls of the building we entered. I realise that someone might not appreciate finding us here. Tiptoe quietly or walk quickly? Well, I'm too impatient to tiptoe quietly, so I'll walk quickly. I'm eager to figure out what's going on here. Our footsteps echo loudly in the dust and the dirt. Dennis leans on me for support. If there is anyone here, it's not like we're trying to be quiet and stealthy with the intention of sneaking up on them. If anyone is listening, they're definitely going to know we're here now. As I carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise featureless place, I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man, he says. I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest. But looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often, coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs, pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it down those stairs? I ask. He stands up slowly and is visibly making an effort not to fall back down. Yeah, he says, and sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me, and I have no choice but to follow. We approach the stairs, and just by looking at them, I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. Ooh. Continue. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look very aged. That damn ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before he is leaning on the wall. He's breathing like he just finished a marathon. Pause to give him a break or keep up the pace? Oh. If I pause, he's probably going to get irritated with me again. I'll keep up the pace, and I'll stop if he asks me. We need to keep moving. I'd rather figure out what this place is sooner rather than later. As we keep going, my mind seems to be locking on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married, and I'd met his wife a few times, a nice one with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realise I might never again get to hearing belting out classic rock songs during a lunch break. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he has been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Out here in the woods, regardless of their backgrounds or ages, I'm responsible for them. In the frequent visits to local bars after a long day or away from families on this risky job, I'm responsible for them. Maybe we can still find them and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. Ugh. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're closer to that ringing noise now. A door sits securely on the wall and looks just as out of place down there as I feel. A slither of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print on the panel says, Level 1 entrance gate, transport sector, and there's a button with no label. Inspect the panel or push the button? I have to push the button. If there's a button, we push. I give the button a push. One of the readings on the panel flickers into life. Outage. That's all it says. It then goes dark. The panel looks like a diagnostic or alert system of some kind, each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged, experiment in progress, shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be off, but one of the phrases has a slowly blinking red light next to it, the only powered light on this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open when Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the hell this place is. As Dennis walks through, that ringing noise, or beeping or whatever it is, gets a little louder. The door closes behind us with a click. I can't help but notice a wobble in Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. You sure you're healthy enough to keep going, I ask? It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared. Something I've never seen before. Angry, yes. Upset, yes. But Dennis is never scared. What did you see? Or what's so dangerous? Excuse me, I just had to take a drink then. What did you see? I don't know what it was, boss. It was like someone had left a radio on, crackling, but we don't have any radios at the site. It was, I don't know, it was like something in the forest was moving. I give him a doubtful look and he casts his eyes to the ground, frustrated. I know how it sounds, he says, but I know what I felt. It was like walking into a funeral parlour, feeling death and gloom everywhere. I'd been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had become just background noise. We take a few more steps and I can now see where we are. It makes no sense. Yet another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colours of metal are easy to identify, but it just doesn't belong here. And that is the end of chapter 1. Well, thank you for listening, and I shall leave this recording here and see you again next time. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.